Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Hammersmith Hardman podcast. I'm Katie, here with the wonderful co-host and founder of the Hammersmith Hardman, Ross Little, and today we are very, very happy to be with the esteemed chef, Tom Brown, at his restaurant, Pearly Queen in London. So over to you, Ross.
Thank you, Katie. Tom, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
For viewers who are not familiar with Tom, Tom is a Michelin star chef. Won the Great British Menu in 2018 and went on to then judge the show a later series.
Twice afterwards.
A
couple of seasons, yeah.
So when we're here in Tom's restaurant, Pearly Queen, and you also used to run the restaurant in Hackney.
Yeah.
And you've got a restaurant opening in Knightsbridge soon.
That's right, yeah, I'm opening at the Capital Hotel, which is nice, like very iconic hotel just out from Harrods.
Fantastic.
So what kind of cuisine is going to be?
So it's going to be very much like, so I only do seafood really.
Right, brilliant.
So it's going to be like high-end seafood. So proper fine dining.
Lobster?
A bit of lobster.
Fish brains.
Fish brain on it?
Something like that.
You'll get used to that. That will just come out naturally.
Comes out of a very expensive fish's bottom. Right? Digger, I believe.
It is.
Oh, very good. Okay, right.
I'm ready. I've been doing my research.
This is why we got Tom on the podcast, That was fantastic. And that kind of leads us in quite nicely, really, to what we're here to talk about today. Because Tom is a follower of the Hammersmith Hardman, which is fantastic. So I really wanted to get you on to have a chat about all things bottom. What bottom means to you, how you first got into bottom, any memories you've got, any particular favourite episodes and quotes and things like that. So yeah.
More than happy to chat through
What's your earliest memory of bottom?
So I remember, I watched it as a kid. I mean, it must have been, when did it was like 1991 it came out.
It was
indeed.
So, I mean, I would have been 4 then, so I don't think it was then. It was slightly later, but I just remember it was on BBC Two and I used to watch it. Me and my brother and my sister used to watch it with my dad. Make up your own judgment about his parenting style.
So this is exactly the same setup
that
we had as kids.
We did a previous episode, a couple of episodes ago, where we asked people to tell us their experiences of bottom, what their first, and the most common response was watching it at home with siblings and or dads. So I think that's a really entry level way to get into bottom. So that sounds very, very normal. If you like.
Yeah, and I just remember I thought it was like the funniest thing ever. I still love it. But it was very much my dad's humour, like this kind of slapstick, kind of like gross.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Quite very juvenile.
A
lot of comedy violence. Yeah, exactly.
A couple of cartoon violence, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Falling out windows, falling downstairs.
I was watching, it's funny, so obviously coming on here, I thought I'll watch a few episodes just to sort of refresh my memory.
Nice.
And there's the one, where they play the chess.
Yes, that's one of my top 3.
He gets the umbrella and he's pushing him across with the umbrella. It's so funny. And then he breaks it off. It's so funny.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
When he hits him with that chair, I cannot, tears every time. It never gets old.
No.
Brilliant.
It starts, doesn't it, with one big punch, doesn't it, initially? When he says checkmate. And it just escalates from there. 2 minutes of just ridiculous slapstick violence.
I think, if we're talking about favourites, that's got to be up there for me. I think just the bit where Richie does his chess move. And he's like, da-da-da-da-da. It's so funny.
Well, that scene was just after he's done that, and he does his chess move. That's one of my all-time favourite quotes, which I tend to use in real life sometimes too, where he does his move and he hits the clock and says, "Get out of that one, Rommel." Really good. Yeah, that's a good one.
We'll get one of those alarm clocks with you. You can just flatten.
Why do you have to do that? So culture is up there as I think that is across if I was to do. I think I've said this before in the podcast. If I was to do a World Cup of bottom episodes, I think culture would be between culture and gas would be the two favourites.
Gas is brilliant, and do you know what? Gas, I actually remember watching in school. seriously at GCSE for GCSE drama. So it was like a thing, and I remember really vividly. The teacher was Mr. Brown. He was called, funnily enough, and we had to like take a letter home to our parents because obviously there was swearing and things. So we had to take it back, and he was talking about like the comedic effect of it and things. Yeah. And I really vividly remember him sort of pausing it and going, right, so this is a good joke now because I've found words in it. And it's when he goes, when they go to give him the tea, but they can't make it. They're like, oh, we don't have gas.
Yeah.
And he brings it over and he's like, right, here we are, 3 steaming cold cups of tea. And he was like, this is a great example of drama. So I was like, do you know what I mean? Bottom of the curriculum. I mean,
that is, yeah.
Cornwall's got a lot to answer for. Do you know
I hope he's getting in touch with their teacher. He sounds like a legend.
He's a geezer. Yeah.
Shakespeare or something like that.
So yeah, no, it's gas is a good one. And they got, what's he called, Mr. Rottweiler that lives next door.
Yes, Mr. Rottweiler, played by who plays Mr. Rottweiler? I forgot his name.
No, is he still with us?
No, he died a while ago.
With the temper on it.
Interestingly, he there's a link between him and Rick previously. I'm not quite sure, but they both appeared in American Werewolf in London.
Did they?
So he goes into a country pub.
Right.
The guy that turns into a werewolf. About to be spoilers. And everyone stops and looks up, as you'd imagine, for a local pub. And at one of the tables, you've got Rick and Brian Glover playing chess. And I think it was pre-Bottom because Rick looks very young and Brian Glover looks pretty young compared to
It would have been pre-Bottom.
Yeah.
American Werewolf in London was like the
80s, yeah. So that was, I don't know how early an appearance that was on the big screen for Rick, but yeah, so there's a bit of a connection there.
Yeah. Post Young Ones, maybe?
Yeah, he does. He looks quite young ones-ish in his his age.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Young Ones was another one that we always used to watch. So my dad's brother lives in Birmingham, and weirdly, as kids from Cornwall, our summer holidays was going to Birmingham to visit our uncle. Do you know what I mean? We were going that way, and like this traffic jam was coming down to Cornwall, and we were going the other way. Yeah. But it was something, honestly, that we looked forward to. We had the box set of the Young Ones on VHS. Nice. And we would always sit and watch it. We watched that, and we watched Brain Dead. Do you know Brain Dead, the zombie film by Peter Jackson? Oh god, it's like this horrible. So you know Peter Jackson that directs Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So it's this New Zealand like gore horror comedy, and it's. I mean, watch it. It's absolutely. But yeah, it's like the most violently disgusting thing ever. So yeah, we were like 8 or 9 years old, and we'd be like, right, we'll get the Young Ones one, and then we'll get that one. It was like terrifying. Yeah, terrifying that was what we were into. But yeah. So no.
Picturing the sick person.
Yeah. It's like, who is the sexiest man on television? Well, Kilroy. Kilroy.
Perfectly where you've been. Kilroy. Yeah. When he says, I'm going to make my own prime time, if that doesn't get me sourced to Singapore on that, then I'm a done. I actually posted from last night, I'm very busy too, but I posted last night that, you know, where they make the home video and Rick Cheese filming. He's like, action. I posted that clip last night just to see doing something tomorrow, just as kind of like a teaser for doing this recording today. People love it. People absolutely love it. That's the last episode.
Yes.
And people absolutely love that episode. It's got so many different highlights to it.
Yeah, it's good. It's the one. It's the. It starts off as the Hammersmith riots, isn't it? Yes. And then they get the BBC camera, and then they're trying to blackmail John Major. Eddie's doing the lip reading. It's like, yes, oh yes. It's so good, so good.
What's he sticking it there? Obviously, it's got me to Kilroy. It's got the iconic stare where Richie dresses up as Kilroy. Hello, good morning. So traffic one. That is, I think that is probably
traffic one's the arms. Amazing.
He comes flying down the stairs. I think that is the favourite scene of the followers of the encounter. If you ever do like that, what's your favourite bottom scene? That always comes up as the favourite. Yeah.
That's like your most viewed clip episode.
I think so. I think that's, from a bottom perspective, but I think my most viewed clips are ones where it's just Rick doing something.
Yeah.
You've seen that clip of him at it's just an event somewhere, I don't know, just like a wedding or something. and someone's filming him and he just spots the camera.
Oh.
And he just starts playing up to the camera for about 30 seconds, just making stupid faces, and he's like,
oh, it's brilliant. He's kind of dressed sort of like his New Statesman kind of gear.
Right.
And
Oh, let's have a look at
sorry, I cut him off.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
He starts kind of looking at the camera.
Oh yeah, no, I have seen that. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's funny because, like, I think he's such a like national treasure, isn't he? Like,
Yeah.
I follow a few pages that are like just sort of about him and just like the sort of, I don't know, like emotional like resonance that people have with him. Like, it's so, and I suppose things like that are like, obviously, like when people, like, you know, to mention about my dad, like he died a few years ago, and like sort of these things, these like memories are so sort of cherished now.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? And it's watching two blokes talk about their knobs and beat each other up, and I'm sitting there going, oh dad, you know what I mean? And it's such a like, but it is, it's quite a sort of funny thing to think that this person was like I was watching what's the one called Finger, you know, where Edit, you know, which I was watching it and I was thinking, because obviously you know, having like a restaurant and with the capital, obviously it's a hotel, and like them checking in and stuff, and it really kind of made me think, you know, when he goes up to the maitre d' and he's like, do you have a reservation? He's like, I don't think they're going to get away with it. So things like that, so funny. But I was watching it and there's a scene where he's in the bathroom and it's the servant girl, and I was like, this is really not right. But then, do you know what I mean? Like, that's quite close to the line.
You know what? Yeah, I remember my dad doing that. Like, in a way, it's my memories of more my dad doing it than Rick, like, going, like, Ridiculous water running down your regrets.
Yeah, and I was like, but then, you know, it's he's still just so sort of revered and loved, isn't he?
But I think we've talked about it before, Peter, but there is, in every episode, there's this bit that would involve a woman. Probably you look back and think that's a bit close to much. But they always end up kind of getting their comeuppance, don't they? So I think she ends up just kicking Eddie in the balls, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So they always, there's always something that's a bit close to the mark in that respect, but then they always end up paying for whatever it is they've said on that.
Rightly so.
They get their comeuppance. That's always like a key part to it.
Yeah. For sure.
I think that the more intellectual viewers at the bottom understand that the joke is not on the women, the joke is on the sad Pearly.
The sad Pearly, exactly that, yeah. You could go through each episode and probably pinpoint them being a sad Pearly to a woman, and that woman they just give it straight back to them. I think they touched upon that in the. Did you see the Bottom Exposed documentary they did?
Do you know what? I didn't know there was one. No, I've not seen it.
That's last year.
April last year.
Yeah. So they did just a UK Gold style documentary. So they had Aid on there talking, and then they had the producer and a few people that have been in the show, and then some fans, some Instagram pages as well on there too. And he mentioned that kind of talking about how some bottom elements wouldn't necessarily fly today, but at the same time there was always a message to what they were doing. So
I think as like older comedies go, I don't think it's the like most
No,
I mean, even the young ones as well. It's just
Alf Garner ain't in it.
Well, it's not Fawlty Towers or wherever.
No, God,
Alf Garner, Christ, yeah.
So if you look into the young ones a little bit, and obviously one of the other reasons I reached out to you was because I noticed you shared quite a lot of Simpsons news.
Yeah.
So you're a Simpsons fan?
Like, hugely. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of I feel like I watch The Simpsons, not every day, but like certainly I watch every week. Like, it's my kind of, it's like a screensaver for my mind. Do you know what I mean? If I'm just at home, it's like my background thing.
Yes.
And like, there's so many. I feel like I quote The Simpsons. The Office is another one that I just quote. I quote without fail every day, like without fail. And again, those are things like that. It was something that me, my brother, and my sister used to watch as kids. So I remember it was on channel. It was on channel 2 at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
And then they moved it. It was channel 4 at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
We'd always watch it sort of just before dinner.
Yeah.
And so Mum would be in doing the dinner, and we'd watch it. Mum likes the bit where they would come and sit on the sofa.
Yeah.
So we'd all be sitting there, and then me, Ryan, and Vicky, my brother and sister, we'd go, "Mum, sofa," and then she'd come running in and watch it. It was almost like, you know, they're running to the sofa. So it was that. But yeah, I mean, The Simpsons is like, it probably is my favourite.
Do you have a favourite kind of period? Like,
Yeah,
series.
A lot of fans are kind of like purists, and they only like sort of the 90s up to
season 3 to season 9.
Nice.
Season 3 to season 9.
How does that sit for you? What's your...
I would go back to season 2. And I probably could say I think on Disney, I watch on Disney Plus over and over again.
Same.
I can get to about halfway through season 13.
Really?
I think I'm done now. I'm gonna go back to the start.
Yeah,
when they start talking about like Barack Obama and stuff that's a bit too modern, I don't like it.
Also, I feel like they kind of caricaturised them a little bit too much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was like I don't know. It was kind of like they ran out of ideas or something. I don't know. I mean, this thing's been on TV for what? As long as I've been alive. So yeah, but like I just feel like that was really that kind of golden era, like, and it was the way it was animated as well. I feel like there was a time it almost looked a bit sort of like it was budget cuts or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know, but
you often spot rehashed bits of animation. I noticed in Simpsons, so that in an episode in season 4, you see just a little clip from season 3 where they just filmed it in.
Yeah.
I can't think there's a specific example. There's 2 or 3 where they just cut it from another series and just put it in for time and I guess budget.
They do that Disney movies and stuff, apparently.
Really?
That's an industry.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Where they do.
Yeah.
There's one. It's the Jungle Book.
Yes.
And Winnie the Pooh, it's like Mowgli and Christopher Robin and they're walking.
It's
interesting.
weird. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
But didn't like Smithers like change race? And it turns out that was just like
And Chief Wiggum. No, he changes his hair colour. He had black hair in the first series.
Yes, he did.
Was it like blue, purple?
It's blue.
So he's got hat on.
No, it was blue in the later, but then it was black at the start.
Oh, wow, that's a shrewd observation. Okay, I'm going to go back and marathon.
So you mentioned The Office. Any other comedy? When we were chatting in the Office, I thought I heard 1 or 2 Partridge references.
Do you know what? Partridge is actually one that everyone says to me you'd love, and I've never really watched it.
Oh, really?
I've never really watched it, but it's one of those ones that everyone says, oh, you'd love that. I mean, any of the Ricky Gervais stuff for me is amazing. I mean, The Office, literally I feel like there's so much of my life that is intertwined in The Office. Like, I feel like, honestly, so like I quote it, I see like references to it in my life. Another one I would say is Father Ted.
Yep.
I love Father Ted. That was another one I watched with Dad a lot, and it was that was a good one. Like,
I'm a big fan of Father Ted. Yeah,
and like there's a reference in that where Mrs. Doyle is making cakes. And this is one I say with the lads here when I get them to try something. And she's like she goes, would you like a slice? I'm not going to do the accent. She's like, would you like a slice of cake, Father? And then she goes, there's cocaine in it. So I go like that with the lads. And I'm like, yeah, taste that. There's cocaine in it. There's not.
What is it she makes today? Is it cinnamon?
Yeah, no, she goes, what do you call them? Raisins. So yeah, no, but again, that was one that like I remember it coming on telly with. I remember it started in like 1995 or something, and like we would watch. So I would have been 8, and Dad had us watching it, and like I remember he'd tell us off like if we said feck afterwards. But I was like, yeah.
But your
so
dad
it's not really so. Exactly. So. But no, what was the bit he loved? My dad. He always used to say, I need to send this to my brother and sister because like when Dad died, we because he was such a massive part of our lives. He was like this legend. He was so funny and like we absolutely like adored him and idolised him. And we'd sit around and we've got this like, for example, we've got this playlist of songs that we remember listening to in my dad's van as kids, and it's like hours and hours and hours of music, like great music, Jimi Hendrix, all these sorts of things.
Yeah.
So we sort of had these real nostalgic sort of trip, like walks down memory lane talking about it. And there was one, and it was it's on the Christmas episode, which I think is the first episode of Father Ted. No, it's in the first series. Anyway, and the guy turns up who's like trying to steal the Golden Cleric Award. Remember this?
Yeah.
And he's Mrs. Doyle is trying to guess his name. And she's going through it, and there's one bit where she goes, Father Spodo Komodo, and like you'd ring up, Dad would ring up, and he'd just say Spodo Komodo, and it was we just found it hilarious. So yeah, that's like Do you know what I mean? These things like really sort of stick with you.
Yeah, they do. There's just little bits of something that just sticks in it, and it just carries, doesn't it, the whole time?
I think it's not until you sit down and watch an episode or something. Like if I watch an episode of The Office, I realise my entire lexicon is just quotes.
100%.
Get out.
Get out.
Whatever. It's just like, oh shit, I can't actually speak real sentences. It's just quotes. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not an Office fan actually. Sadly, no.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not. It's one of those ones that people say to me. People assume that I like The Office.
Yeah.
I have watched episodes of it, but I've just never really got into it. And so I always end up just kind of just
Do you
laughing.
have to do extras or anything?
No.
Do you know what I find really underrated? Is Life's Too Short as well.
Yeah.
You know, with Warwick Davis. I think it kind of went under the radar, but it's so good.
It's actually Liam Neeson on the list.
Yeah,
It's
like I have AIDS. Contracted it from an African prostitute. And he's like, it's getting a bit heavy. He goes, right, I'm a shopkeeper, you're open. He goes, a tree. And he goes, we're not open. So I think we need to be open. But yeah, no.
Oh. I do love the way he manages to get like any celebrity to just send themselves out there and do shit, like especially in extras.
Yeah, so good.
Danny Radcliffe was brilliant because he was only about 17 at the time.
Oh, yeah, God.
Just trying to tell
Yeah, it's so good. There was so I had a lad called Harry who worked for me, Harry Beavis at the Cornerstone, and he was the same sort of thing. So he's really close with his dad. He's a great guy, Rich, and he was very much like watched all these sorts of things as well. Harry's actually, I mean, Harry's probably a little bit, he's 10 years younger than me, so it's funny that he still sees these things. But we would be at Cornerstone and like you'd see like a fit like girl come in, and he'd start quoting the Daniel Radcliffe stuff. He'd just come over and go. I'd just turn to him and go, "You've unravelled it." Lucky girl.
With the Avengers, what's the name?
Oh, Diana Rigg.
Yes.
Did you? Did you like Shooting Stars then?
Yeah.
Because Shooting Stars was a big one for me.
Yeah.
Any Reeves and Mortimer stuff, including Shooting Stars.
Yeah.
All their sketch stuff.
Yeah, probably problematic today, but I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
When I say that for them.
Oh yeah.
It's fine. What about? Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say they had their initial sketch shows, you know, that led into the doing Shooting Stars, and then they squeezed little sketches into.
Yeah. The one that still I find like funny with Shooting Stars is how well I know George Shaw's songs.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like I still remember them so. I still remember his little songs so well. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
What were you going to say?
Harry Enfield?
Yeah, I liked Harry Enfield. Harry Enfield. Probably not quite as much.
Yeah.
Do you know why? I think because I know Vic and Bob had a few, but I don't really like things that have like a catchphrase or something. It's just like repeated. Do you know what I mean? So there's I like quotes, but not like a repeated catchphrase. You know, like where he's like, what is it?
Considerably richer than
yeah, exactly. Or like saying that, I was about to say, I don't believe he wanted to do that. But I like that from The Office, you know, where he does it. Oh, come on. But yeah, so yeah, I think the catchphrase comedy.
The sketch show comedy, maybe not.
No, I like some sketch shows, but not where it's just like a repeated thing.
Yeah.
And I think sort of as I've got older. Like I was thinking this when I was watching it. I was thinking, I wonder if I'd like Bottom now. If it had never been a thing and it came out.
Yeah.
And there's that because I think obviously as you get older, where it's like something like, and obviously Bottom isn't fucking Mrs. Brown's Boys, but do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? That kind of like, you know, it's got a laughter track.
Yeah.
It's kind of silly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I do wonder, but like. Then when I watch Bottom Back still now, I do like laugh. Like I'm not watching it and going.
I wonder if part of the charm is because you watched it when you were 5 and it was people falling over and hitting each other.
Exactly.
Is it just? I mean, that's endlessly hilarious to a 5-year-old. I mean, I probably still laugh now, but is it because I laughed when I was 5? Like you say, then.
And I do think there's like layers to the comedy. Like it's not just that.
Yeah.
Like I was watching the burglary one.
Yes.
And they're like, what is it? They've got him tied up, and Richie goes, "What? He's like, you've got to break him psychologically. Watch this." And he walks over and he's like, "Hello." Sorry, I was watching it on the train, literally coming here, and I was like, "This is so funny." But yeah, there's it's layered. And they're like, "Yeah. Yeah!" It's like, he was just toying with you, punky. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, do you know what I mean? I was watching it and I thought, because I don't know if you do this, but sometimes like I'll watch a film that I thought was really funny when I was younger, or like, what was that one? Oh God, I can't remember. There was one, it was like this American comedy film, and I was like, I actually don't find this funny at all. Oh no, do you know what it was? Scary Movie. Do you remember Scary Movie? I thought it was hilarious when I was a kid. And it's still alright, but I was just like, I just, do you know what I mean?
There are certain things, sometimes I was like, where is going to go?
Scary Movie 2 I actually like a lot more than Scary Movie 1. But,
No, before it, in 4 or 5 Scary Movies.
God,
We've only seen one.
Scary Movie 6 is coming out soon.
Oh,
pretty sure of it.
Oh, wow.
Scary
Most of
Movie
the Saw
5.
films.
Yeah. God, Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Loving a dead horse.
So coming back around to Bottom, what do you think of the live shows? Have you seen them?
Yeah, I loved them. I really liked the one on, is it Hooligans Island?
Yeah.
The one when they're on there, where they're in the prison clothes. And yeah, I think that, I mean, it's a credit to how they are as like, sort of as actors, because like you can see how they do it, like in the actual show. It's like very much in that sort of zone. And I mean, I'm presuming it was filmed in front of a live audience. Yeah. Obviously, it wasn't just like a laughter track.
No, the ones that they recorded onto VHS and DVD, they just chose a live show. I think the Hooligans Island was in Bristol.
Oh, sorry, I mean the actual
episode. Yeah, it was in front of a live audience.
Yeah, because you can kind of see it. Like there's one where, what was it? The one where Eddie comes home and it's the burglary one.
He's drunk.
Yeah, he's drunk, and then Richie does like this little monologue while Eddie's passed out, and you're like, this is like so theatrical. Do you know what I mean?
Is it like Jesus and Mahatma Gandhi or whatever?
Yeah. And he's sitting there and he's like talking about how he wanted his fish supper and all like this, but those live shows, they were great. I remember watching those on VHS, and Hooligans Island was really good. That's the one I remember the most. I think it was like the third.
Yeah, Hooligans Island was the third.
And of course, which is actually mental that you can't find it on any streaming platform anywhere, is Guest House Paradiso.
Yeah. Wait for this.
Which is got, what's the guy who's in it?
Bill Nye? Simon Pegg?
No.
Spudgar.
No. He's that really famous, like, sexy French actor. He's the one he's the teacher in Black Swan.
Oh yeah, so is he Gino Carbonara's
boyfriend?
Yeah.
He's like Gino Spaghetti, isn't it? Or something?
And he's like, I mean, he was in bloody Black Swan, and then he's in Guest House Paradiso, like vomiting and like swelling up. It's like. He's like a ball, isn't it? It like comes out of it. But do you know what I mean? It's like
they had Bill Nye in it. Bill Nye in it. They got some pretty big names in it.
I just remember that when the opening scene where he's on the motorbike coming back to and then Andrew's coming. There's 2 lorries. It's but it's mad, isn't it? Like, I mean, they would get, they could put that on for 50 quid and I'd be paying Prime that.
Yeah.
I think it was on Netflix for about 5 minutes, and then the Facebook groups were mental when they took it off again.
Shame.
I have to watch it on YouTube, but that's one of my like strongest memories of me and my little brother. So I'm 35, he's 32, so we're at that kind of age, and like just all the time, and it's just fucking bang, obviously the word fuck was hilarious when you were like 8 or whatever. Still is now.
Still is now.
I suppose they upgraded from the semi-naughty words to when they're on stage. You say cunt.
It's completely upgraded. I think in the shows they're allowed X number of slightly naughty words.
Yeah.
There's like a quota, I think, per episode they're allowed to say. But then it's on a live show, that's it, they can just go to town. And they do, and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good, very good.
So the other thing I was thinking about when it comes to bottom and food, there's a lot of bottom and food references. I think every episode there's something related to food.
Yeah.
Obviously the most famous one would be, I'd say, Sprouts Mexican.
Sprouts Mexican, yeah.
You remember what goes into Sprouts Mexican?
I can't, I just remember the effects of it very vividly.
So it's,
God, what is
it? Hint of chili powder, a jar of curry powder,
Yes.
3 bottles, no,
The hint of
a hint of
Tabasco sauce.
sauce,
3
a
bottles.
past political broadcast
Oh, you're more about it.
of Tabasco sauce, and then gunpowder.
Secret ingredients.
Secret ingredient, gunpowder.
Yes.
But if you were to make spicy sprouts, how would you do it? I know you're more of a fish man.
Probably leave the gunpowder.
What's come by his nose?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be going, well, Sprouts Mexican, so you want something Mexican in there, so I'd be starting with a little Valentina hot sauce base, I would say. Very
Nice.
nice. My brother lives in Mexico now, so
Nice.
so yeah,
Is
so
it a delicacy out there?
I think it is. I think that's where it originated. Yeah, I think it's a street food in Oaxaca. I think so. You see a lot of Brussels sprouts in Mexico, of course. So.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, a little bit of that, and yeah, still get the curry powder. I mean, up until the gunpowder, a lot of them ingredients are pretty nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, curry Brussels sprouts, very nice. Chili on Brussels sprouts, very
Actually,
nice.
this sounds quite nice.
Part of political broadcast, not so much.
Yeah. And maybe
Yeah.
exploding carrots. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I think he just puts a firework in them or
Just
something.
puts a firework in it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's instead of the pumpkins, isn't it?
Yeah.
What was another one that I was watching? Oh, with Finger, where they're doing their order in the restaurant.
Oh, the swanky
And
rushing.
yeah, the top, the glass, the swanky. And then he's like, yeah, no, hollering out the fish fingers and poking dog shit. It's like, because you get me every time with that one.
You know,
I certainly do.
No, I've
Your
not
skill
done.
chef. Come on.
I've never done that
Shame.
in this restaurant or any of my other restaurants.
Oh,
I
yeah.
never intend to.
April Fool's Day is coming up.
We'll see. No dog shit fish fingers in the system.
Would you ever grill a fish on a campfire out on Wimbledon Common mixed with dog shit?
No, I don't. I mean, I've never been to Wimbledon Common.
Neither have I. One put me off, to be
I've
honest.
never try and hunt a womble with a packet of popcorn and a litter spike.
Yeah.
Also, there's one that Eddie also always comes up when he's talking about food is like a slap-up grill for two.
Yeah.
I've always wondered when you talk about a slap-up grill, what does that mean? What is in a slap-up grill?
Well,
Like a mixed grill?
I would say, yeah, like a mixed grill, or, I mean, my thoughts would lean towards a mixed grill or like a breakfast, like a fryer, basically. But yeah, it's kind of I think so.
In your perfect slap-up grill, what would it be?
My slap-up grill,
Yeah.
I'd have a little pork chop, I'd have a lamb chop,
Ooh.
I'd have a little bit of gammon,
Nice.
a steak, a sausage.
We haven't got sausage.
Very nice. A fried egg, a few chips, recipes.
Nice.
That's what I'd go. Yeah, classic.
So it's Route 1 mixed grill, right?
That's Route 1 mixed
A lot
grill.
of
Yeah,
meat.
yeah.
That's a lot of meat.
Yeah, it's a lot of meat.
Christ.
That's what. Yeah, when you go mixed, that's what I would call like a British mixed grill, mixed grill. Because like Pearly, where we are, we're right by Whitechapel, and like unbelievable like Turkish mixed grills, which is like, I mean, that's a proper slap-up grill. Down there, Efes and that. We go down there sometimes with the lads and get the proper Turkish ones, and they're unbelievable. But yeah, I don't think Eddie's talking about them.
No, probably not. No.
Yeah.
There's Amal's kebab shop, isn't there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You run over to that station.
Because it's okay for me for the next month.
Yeah.
That's not the only time when they reference eating dogs. Do you know the one where they're like, they're doing the crossword?
Oh,
I think it's culture.
It is culture, yeah.
And they're like, Harold the Ironmonger. Remember, we ate his dog.
It's bloody well that bit, didn't we?
That's it. Yeah.
Another bottom food reference. First episode in Bottom Smells when he does Rich's Friday Night Fryer.
That's it. Yeah.
That is, I've got no idea. From what I can recall, it looks like there's like a whole onion just in the frying pan. Like,
Remember the vegetable oil? Was there
Yeah.
a lemon as well?
Yeah. And he drinks it, doesn't he?
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So what on earth are you eating? You're eating lard.
I mean, there's a lot of it sounds quite nice, to be honest.
Oh, definitely.
If you put all that in a Friday night fry.
Yeah. There's also it's an apocalypse where Eddie's cooking. Also, he's cooking a fry up, and it looks really nice.
I was all in one pot.
All in one
Yeah,
pot.
yeah. Oh, that's it. That's the one I was thinking of. But yeah, no, the other one I remember now as well. Because it catches fire, doesn't it?
Yes, and it
Yeah.
explodes, and
Yeah.
then Eddie is sick over Richie when they're talking about the
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's the one where he does where he's foraged all the ingredients?
Oh, so yes, that is Contest, which is the.
It's at the first, but not first
They
episode.
put it like halfway through series 1, but it's like really obviously done way earlier than the rest.
Right.
'Cause Eddie's got like hair,
Yeah.
and it's all shot just a little bit dark, and
Yeah.
everything's just a little bit darker, and
It is weird, isn't it?
the
Yeah.
tone is very different.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's made his tea in there. He's either been grown, found, or foraged.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what bits of food are in there. There's
Oh yeah,
Green-
God, I
Green-
remember that now.
green bacon.
Yeah, yeah.
The beans you watch them pop.
Yeah,
Another one is where he goes in the fridge and he gets the yogurt. He's like, "What's this pot of cress?" Oh, that's it. That's the
It's culture
yogurt.
again.
Yeah, and he's eating it out of it. Yeah.
It really makes me want a banana and pre-jog it up.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
bit of cress, I would eat that. That sounds nice.
So I think I made a list of all the bottom food references. Those are the main two. Snap up grill, which is Friday night fry up. Sprouts
Yeah.
roast cane.
Yeah.
That
The
sounds
fish
really nice,
in Salt and Dow.
Oh, and of course the caviar.
Yes, of course.
Oh,
Yes,
the
the meal
caviar.
for Lady Natasha.
Yeah.
Not a peasant food.
Yeah, and he's like scraping out the bin and there's bits of cabbage and that.
Squash potatoes.
Yeah, squash potatoes. Squash potatoes, you man.
That was excellent.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very
very
good.
good.
Sorry.
There's Christmas dinner as well.
Of course.
Potato too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 please.
He breaks the plate.
Have you ever made a Christmas pudding with a block of margarine?
No, oh no.
Would you
I mean, if we were filming closer to the time, I would have said let's do
yeah.
the vodka margarine. I'll be up for that.
Okay, what's the most stupidly experimental thing you've ever cooked with that may or may not have inspired by Bottom?
God, I don't know about inspired by Bottom, but we've been working on one for the capital, which is actually really, really nice. I mean, it sounds a bit weird, but it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the transition course, we call it, in a slightly pretentious way, where it's like the course between savoury and sweet.
Yep.
And it's oyster ice cream.
Ooh,
So
okay.
so it's like oysters, a little bit of glucose, some sugar, milk, etc., and then we blend it in a package, so it's really creamy, and it's kind of weird on its own.
Yeah.
But then we serve with this cucumber mint and sake granita, which is really nice. It's got a little bit of savouriness to it, but then it's nice. It's very fresh. It's kind of clean, but yeah, it's a bit weird. I mean, I did at one point I tasted it and I thought, am I just doing it for weirdness' sake?
Yeah.
But then when I ate it, and I was like, no, actually, this is really delicious. So,
Yeah.
no,
You
it
go for your
was,
style with that one, right?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, it's all about
That's what
the
we want.
innovation and stuff. isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. And you want to create
Yeah.
sort of stuff that's interesting.
I remember eating like the mushroom lollipops once. They had like different, it was like traffic light colours.
Oh, really?
And stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, because I live up north, so there's a lot of Michelin star restaurants up there.
Yeah.
I can't remember
it's
people's
nice.
names, but
Yeah.
Man Behind the Curtain.
Oh, he's a really good man.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
He's very different to Michael. Yeah. Again, very avant-garde, like amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing chef, but he's a great example of that actually, because I remember sort of before I knew Michael, and I thought I'd seen him on Great British Menu. He was on it before I was,
Oh,
and I saw it and I thought, oh my god, this all looks quite sort of flashy and that. And then after meeting him, I went to his restaurant and like as a cook, like. One of the best I've ever met. Like the way he backs it up, and I think it's even more. Sometimes people say, "Oh, if you cook very simply, there's nowhere to hide," and everything's got to be good.
Yeah.
I actually think that sometimes it's more the other way around.
Yeah.
So if you're putting all these different things and you're you're messing about and
Yeah.
you're being you're doing it like things like that.
Yeah.
They have to all sort of harmonise so well, and there's such a skill in that.
Yeah,
and Mike's unbelievable, and a great person as well. Like, love him to death. So yeah, he's very good. Yeah, for sure.
So while we're talking about the new restaurant you've got coming up, anything else you got going on that you want to talk about? While
just that really. I mean, just sort of just a new one's keeping me busy for a minute.
You seem very laid back.
Yeah, you think we'll seem very chill.
I'm really nice. That's why.
No,
I think it's funny with. I think chefs get this sort of bad rep a lot of the time where they're sort of.
Is it because something that rhymes with Ord and Amzik?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I think it might be. And I think it's this sort of weird assumption that like being a chef is a harder job than anything else. I mean, having done bits on telly and stuff, like look at how people talk to each other on a television set. Do you know what I mean? If you think the kitchen's bad, like go and see that, or like a fashion shoot, or in the army, or professional sport, or anything that's got like a competitive edge to it, or pressure is tough. But I think the thing that I find with kitchens and with sort of chefs is very often you don't get too many people in the restaurant industry that are doing it just as like a job, like a clock in, clock out. People actually love it and they want to be there, and it's something that we've always tried to like really instill in the culture of, is like wanting to be part of something and this real kind of it's such a cliche, but this almost sort of family sort of union with the team, and we all go for pints together and things like that, and I think those things are so important. And I mean, sometimes you'll have a hectic service and it's a bit full on, and sometimes people get a bit snippy with each other. But I don't think that's any different to anything else. I mean, and I think very often kitchens as such can be such welcoming environments. I know there's huge issues in the broader terms of the industry with things like representation, women in kitchens, people of colour in kitchens. But I think that all the kitchens I know and the chefs I know are so welcoming to try and bring people in. Do you know what I mean? And it can be a hard environment, but I think very often it's such a rewarding one when you're in those right things. Not to take away from obviously those issues are like huge. I feel like those things are like more societal. Do you know what I mean? You look who's in power across the fucking. Do you know what I mean? Like, no wonder it's the world is what it is. But I mean, I love working in kitchens. I'm very fortunate to work in kitchens my whole life. I find it harder to do a fucking 9 to 5 in a call centre. I remember watching EastEnders all night. Do you know what I mean? That's like fucking purgatory for me. To be in a kitchen sweating and around people that that I love and doing something that I love is we're the lucky ones, I think.
Yeah, and we're just really grateful for your time.
No,
thank you.
Love it.
To round up talking about bottom, always when I have guests on, I ask 3 questions. We've sort of covered one, but just to round up the chat, so favourite episode, all-time favourite quotes, and your favourite person who appears on the show that's not Richie or Eddie. So you can have any of the characters that appear at any point.
Okay.
So kind of covered episode, but maybe think of another episode that is also up there.
Episode, there's a couple.
She's a kid, children.
I know. You've got to ask
there's
questions.
Really,
it's got to be done.
It's hard hitting.
Helen Leather doesn't get away, but you can't.
Think fingers up there for.
Yep.
Fingers a good one.
Hole. Do you like Hole? One of the Ferris wheel one?
Yeah, that's really good because it's literally just the 2 of them. Isn't it? That's great.
Yes.
And it's like just one thing. I really like that one. When he's like jumping along the stuff. That's really good. But probably finger culture. Burglary's good. I think it's so hard to pick.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a cruel question.
Quotes.
It's going to be a difficult one. But is there any one quote that just jump? Or you always say, or in a certain situation, you just come out with it.
I like you say, get out of that one, Ronald. It's very, very good. And yeah, the when I mentioned it earlier, but when he's like saying about his reservation, he's like, I'm not sure we're going to get away with it. I'll tell you one that I really like. It's in Finger, where they're like saying about Taffy Jones's wedding, and he goes, "Oh, it's in that Welsh church, isn't it?" And he goes, "Oh, I know the one, Saint." It's just so stupid and funny. I watched it recently, and it just cracks me up every time. Yeah. So that's very good. The favourite person who comes in, I love the one where. Oh no! Actually, my favourite quote is the whole monologue where they look after the shop.
Yeah.
And he's going on, and he's like. Talking about he like pretends to get the boy by the ear. He's
little
like
Johnny Cartwright.
Little Johnny Cartwright for the flags. I want him doing 20 to 10 in the pen. He's like, I'm going to tell Mayor Dooley. And then that old lady's like, excuse me, you Mayor. The lady who runs the dating agency is very good. Lily Lineker, she's very good.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, like Spud Gun.
Yes.
Spud Gun's brilliant. He's got to be my favourite. The barman with Dickhead, he's great. And then who's the guy? He plays Crichton in Red Dwarf, and he's the guy with one leg.
Yes.
Robin Llewellyn. That's it. He's very good.
Smash your face.
Yeah. He's like, there was me, Joey, Corky, Joey Snow. I mean, I know I've not nailed one down there. I just literally basically went through the whole series. But yeah,
it's very difficult. It's very difficult to pick a favourite. That's everything I had sort of question-wise. Is there anything else bottom-wise you want to discuss, or anything really? You just want to chat about?
Should we do the Esther Ranson, or are we waiting for that?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, so we'll be posted separately, but together. We are going to have a go at making the famous Esther Ranson from Bottom Culture. So check back to the page to see how that turns out. But Tom, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's been great chatting.
No, thanks. It's been great. Like going over it all. So yeah.
And all the best for the opening of your new restaurant.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
And thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.